Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers, and thank you for coming back and clicking on my channel once again. I just want to say thank you to everybody who was praying for me and my family. We are getting better. We were sick last week. We had the C word. We're getting better, and yeah, we're feeling a lot better. We're just a little tired, but for the most part we are getting better. So today I am going to be sharing the last story of the 3 times I was mugged. And this story kind of like really touches my heart a lot. I love this story because it just reminds me of how God had me in the palm of his hands throughout the entire situation, right? So the story starts in 2016. I was working at a radio station. I was also working at an aftercare. So this particular day, I worked the whole day, like from 6 o'clock till 6 o'clock at the aftercare and at the radio station. And by 6 I was so tired, I just decided to go home. I was like, I'm so spent, I just want to sleep. And so I decided to walk home. And I remember I wasn't sure if I would make it home because I was so tired. And I just told myself, like, sometimes you just don't have a choice. If you're walking, you must just walk until you get home. And I kind of lived far, especially for someone who's like really tired. I usually took transport, but I think this day I just didn't have any money. I was so tired, guys. So I decided, like, spur of the moment, to go and visit my friend. And he was there, luckily, and we decided to watch a movie. I said, hey, let's watch a movie, So he puts on a movie and I decide to fall asleep halfway. I didn't even wait till halfway through the movie. I think the movie played for 15 minutes and then I was gone. I was out. And then when the movie ended, I felt so bad that I agreed to watch another movie. But by this time it's like 7-ish, 8 o'clock. So, but I wasn't worried because I was like, no, you know what? At least I'm not going to walk home by myself. I have a friend who will walk me home. And he actually lived quite close to my house, like 15 minutes away. But I couldn't make that last 15 minutes while I was tired. I was really exhausted. And it seemed further, when I was tired. But now that I was with my friend, I was like, I don't actually live that far away from you, so it's fine. So so we went out to get snacks. We come back in, we watch our second movie. I mean, I was a little worried that I was getting late, but I was like, no, it's fine. I'm not alone. I live close. It's fine. So we finish our movie and he walks me home. And while he's walking me home, we decided to take the route that had a lot of cars and a lot of lights and a lot of people. And for some reason that day, the only people that were out in the street was like these 10 guys. Like, yes, there were cars passing, but they weren't a lot, and I just saw 10 guys, and they kind of were like, I wouldn't say harassing the couple in front of us, but kind of harassing them. And I didn't feel comfortable walking into, like, because we had to go through them in order to like continue on the road to my house, and I just didn't feel like doing that. And also I had a laptop, so I was like, let's just go around, right? So we decided, no, we're just gonna go around. So we decided to walk around. Then 2 guys joined the group. I remember I looked back, but not really looked back, but 2 guys joined the group. And those 2 guys decided to follow us. And I'm just like, okay. And my friend says, there are 2 guys following us, right? And I say, and I look to the side like, I see them. And he says, like, and he says, okay, like, can you fight? I was like, no. I'm like, yeah, I can fight. I'm busy like popping myself up, or and I'm just like, no, but God is going to protect us. We're fine. And I remember thinking, Lord, if I have to fight, please let me win. That was the first thing I prayed. And the second thing I prayed is, Lord, please protect us, or please protect me. I'm not sure, but something along those lines. So we keep walking, and when we turn into, because we had a dark alley, and they came after us, at the same area where the other guy from the other mugging story grabbed my phone and ran, and then the people from the store caught him and mob justiced him there. But that's the same area where now these guys decided to go and approach my friend, and they say to my friend, can we have some matches? And I say, oh, they only want matches. Okay, cool. And my friend says, okay, fine. So he puts his hand in his pocket, and when he puts his hand in his pocket, the other guy goes to him. One of the guys go to him and also puts his hand in my friend's pocket, because he notices that my friend has a phone. So now he wants my friend's phone. And now both of their hands are in my friend's pocket, and now the other guy is on one side of my friend and the other guy is on the other side of my friend, and my friend is also holding my laptop. So I'm just like, I can't let this happen. I have to help him. So I start screaming at these guys like, hey guys, stop what you're doing, please stop. Like, I'm panicking and I'm telling them to stop, and then one of the guys stops and looks at me straight in my eyes and says, shut up. But he says it in Sesotho, like he tells me to keep quiet. And I was taken aback, and I was like, I think I paused for a few seconds, but then after a while I was just like, no, you're not gonna keep me quiet. You're not gonna mug me, you're not gonna mug my friend. Like, no, this isn't going to happen. And so I started telling them again, like, no, stop what you're doing. Hey, and I'm calling my friend like, hey, come to me, like, come to me. And he's just moving them away from me, and I'm trying to get their attention and telling them to stop and telling them to like leave my friend alone. And then the other guy comes to me, and then he tells me to shut up. And I say, no, I'm not going to shut up. You guys, what you guys are doing is wrong. And the moment I said that, guys, he slapped me in the face. Like, he just went, whah! And I was like, did he just slap me? And honestly, my first reaction was that I wanted to cry because that hurt. And the second reaction was, I don't want to cry because I don't want him to think that he hurt me. And I think I also decided to fight back in that moment, because I thought, one day when I tell this story, do I want to say that I cried, or do I want to say that I fought back? And at that time, I wanted to say that I fought back. So I slapped him back, right? This all happened within a matter of seconds. Like, it was like a split-second conversation in my brain. So he slaps me, I slap him back. And then he slaps me again. And then I slap him back, okay? And then he grabs me by my clothes like this. And then he pulled I had a black boob tube dress on, right? A long, beautiful black boob tube dress, which he destroyed. He pulled it and he destroyed it. And it just dropped. And I remember at this point, I was actually angry. So I buttoned up my flannel shirt. And I decided, you're not going to get away with this one. I grabbed him and I started punching him, just beating him up, right? Because I was so angry. Like, I couldn't believe that a guy would put his hands on me, right? So, after that, he punched me twice, and then he got free of, like, my grip, right? And I wasn't done. I was like, I started calling him back. I was like, come back here. Like, I'm not done. You think you can just beat up a woman and you can get away with it? No, come back. And he was like, no, I don't have to. I'm like, no, come back here. And he's like, no, I don't have to. But unfortunately, by this time, they had gotten hold of my friend's phone, which is what they wanted. And I told him, if you don't come back here, I'm going to scream. And my neighbors are going to come out. And then he decides, we don't care. They both decided that. I'm like, no, we don't care. You can call whoever you want. You can scream. We don't care. So I'm like, okay. So I started screaming. Our neighbors came out. They ran away. And I was like, why did I do that? Because now they're gone, you know? And I'm like, God, they cannot get away with this. And immediately, like I think about 5-10 seconds later, there was a police patrol van, like just patrolling the area, and we waved them down. And immediately after waving the police down, like we got into the van, we told them what happened, and then now they went to go find out from other people if they had seen these guys. I'm just like, let's just follow where they went, and then maybe, you know, you guys might just find them. Excuse me. So we decided to go down the route that they decided to run. So we went down that route, and then we had like, I think there were 3 turns. And I said, maybe try the quietest turn, because obviously they're trying to get away from like any police or anyone that may be looking for them, right? So I say to the cops, no, try here. And when we turned in, I was worried that, will I even remember how they look? What if I don't know how they look? What if I forget them? And lo and behold, the moment I saw them, I recognized them, and the cops caught them, and I felt so good. I was like, God, you are so good. You had my back, you know. Jesus, you are everything. I was so happy, guys. So we had them, and of course they were begging and saying, no, please, sister, let us go. We're sorry. I'm like, yeah, you weren't sorry while you put your hands on me. You weren't sorry then. You weren't sorry while you were beating up my friend. You weren't sorry then. All of a sudden, you're sorry. No, go to jail. That's what I said to them. So we went to the police station. We, you know, kind of opened a case. And I wanted to open my own case. But the police said that because it was the same, because it was the same incident, that we had to open a case together. So I said, okay, fine. We'll open a case together, right? So after that, guys, the police ask us if we really want to open a case, and we say yes, and then they go to jail. So we go on with our lives. About a week later, my friend gets a phone call from, I think, the detective or someone in charge, and they say that the parents want to meet with him to drop the charges. So then my friend phones me and says, hey, the parents want to meet with me and they want me to drop the charges. And I said, no, like, you are not dropping those charges. I mean, they didn't think about how it would, how we would be impacted by what they were doing. You're not going to drop those charges. And I told them straight up, like, no, you are not going to drop those charges. So my friend, because he was such a softie, he said, no, maybe we can just hear them out. I was like, okay, fine, but I am not changing my mind. Like, I am not letting them go. I was very angry, guys, because I think I was walking home, but it was like earlier, and then a guy crossed the road, and as he was crossing the road, he was just walking a little too close to me, and then I screamed, guys. Like, I screamed, and he was just a random guy crossing the road. And I realized that I was actually traumatized by the situation. So it made me even more angry that these guys had actually managed to traumatize me. So guys, after that, what happened? So after that, the next day, he phones me and says, no, the parents are here, you can come. They want to meet you also. So I went to meet the parents, and the mother and one of the boys' mother and his father were asking us if we could please drop the charges because their son is only 18. He made a mistake. If he goes to jail, he won't be able to go to university. His whole life will be ruined. And all I kept thinking was, what about my life? You know, I was like, what about my life? And what about my friend's life? You know, do you care about us? Like, do you care about what we went through, about the trauma that they put us through? Like, do they even care? And is this even the first time that this happens? You know, that's what I asked the parents, you know, how do you know this is the first time it happened? You know, how do I know that if I let them go that they won't do this to someone else? You know, and this went on. I think we were going back and forth for like an hour, maybe 2 hours. We were chatting and talking, and parents were trying to plead with me, and I told them, listen, he even destroyed my laptop while he was fighting my friend. Like, they ended up destroying my laptop, and they said, look, we will replace your laptop, we will even pay you to let our sons go. I was like, I don't want your money. Like, I do not want your money. Your money is not going to make me feel safe again. But they kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing until my friends started to give in. My friends started to like say, you know, I think we should drop the charges. And I'm like, I don't want to, because I just feel like if we do, they're just gonna do it to someone else. But after convincing me, because he ended up convincing me and said, you know what, we actually don't know these people. They know where we live, you know. They know where I live, at least where his friends live anyway. And he said that, no, maybe we should consider dropping the charges. So fine, I said fine. We will drop the charges on the condition that you fix my laptop, because my parents could not afford to buy me another laptop. So they said, okay, we need you to come to the courthouse tomorrow. And guys, I won't lie, like, the whole time we were going through this situation, like, we didn't matter. It really felt like our well-being didn't matter to these people. But fine, we had to swallow our pride and drop the charges, right? So that's what we did. We went to the prosecutor. We had to find the prosecutor, right? Not what's it called? They go and, no, we had to go and look for the prosecutor in charge and then ask the prosecutor to drop the charges. So we ended up doing that. And I explained to the prosecutor that the parents had asked me to drop the charges. And I explained to the prosecutor that I didn't want to drop the charges, and if it was up to me, they would go to jail. But their mother and the father came and pleaded for them. So we've decided to just drop the charges. And honestly, the only reason I dropped the charges is because my friend had decided to drop the charges. So anyway, so the prosecutor comes up with a plan or a way in which we could both, I guess, get what we want. So the two boys would get off, but if they were to commit another crime, this case would be reopened and they would immediately get 15 years in prison for any crime they commit for this crime, and then get whatever they get for the other crime, right? So that was the condition of their release. Excuse me. So that was the condition of their release, right? Sorry, I'm so tired. Okay. So after they got released, I shouted at them outside the courthouse. I was like telling them off, like, you guys, I hope you know how lucky you are. I told them off, guys. I shouted at them for like something like 20 minutes. I felt kind of bad, but I didn't feel bad. I was like, yeah, I don't even care. I'm shouting at you in front of your mother. And if I ever catch one of you ever putting your hands on another woman, you will find me there. I will appear out of the blue. That's what I told these, like I told them. And I'm like, I can beat you up. Man, I was so mad. Anyway, so then we decide to go. We have my laptop fixed, and his mom is like, no, I'm gonna keep your screen, and we're gonna remind him every single time he wants to go out and do something stupid, he must look at that screen and remember what he did. So that gave me some consolation, and then the whole situation was over, and we went about our lives, right? So we went about our lives. And then, guys, 3 years later, I meet up with this guy that I don't recognize. And he says, hi, do you remember me? And I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't remember you. He's like, I'm from your neighborhood. And he mentions my neighborhood by name. I said, oh, you even know where I live. I'm sorry, I really don't remember you. And he said, you had a problem that day. And I said, I had a problem. And I go back to the only problems I've ever had in my neighborhood, which was being mugged, And I say, only time, and I'm like, oh, it's you, the guy who mugged me. You're the guy who mugged me. And then he panics and said, I'm so sorry. And he's shaking and he's like, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to have the opportunity to tell you how sorry I was. And he goes on for himself, and all I can say is, no, it's okay. Like, it's fine. I'm fine. And then I give him a hug because I feel like that's what he needs at the time. So I gave him a hug. And then I asked him how he was doing. And then he told me that no, he's studying now. He does not hang with the same friends that he used to hang with. And that he finished his schooling and he's just focusing on his life now. He's not interested in the kind of lifestyle he had previously. And I was just, to be honest, I was actually happy. I was impressed, and I was glad that God had his way and I didn't have mine, because I feel like had it been up to me, he would have gone to jail, and who knows, he might have ended up living a criminal lifestyle, might not have been able to get out of it, and might have caused people a lot more harm. Now, I'm not saying that if a crime is committed, you shouldn't report it. I think you should. And I think, it's important to stick to your guns, especially when it comes to a situation like that. But I'm saying that, in this case, God had a plan, and God's plan was better than my plan, because in this story, God was both merciful and he was just. He gave me justice, and he gave this young boy mercy, and because of that, he was able to change his life. And I think about that scripture verse about how the shepherd will leave the 99 and go and find that one sheep and bring it back to the fold. So unfortunately, this whole story had to happen, but in the midst of that, God went and found his one sheep that was lost. And I was just so amazed with how God works, with how God loves us, with how merciful he is, as well as just, with how he was with me throughout this entire situation. And I want to encourage you guys to trust him with whatever you're going through. Like, no matter how difficult it is, place your trust in him, because he is faithful. He is truly faithful, and he is a loving God. I mean, he loved us so much, he gave us his son to die for us, because we're not perfect, and we don't have a hope to be perfect without him. So So yeah, guys, I want to encourage you guys to place your whatever you're going through, place it in at the foot of the cross. Give it to God, give it to Jesus, and trust him, because he will be faithful with your trust. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And in my stories, for me, I felt like he was there every step of the way. He gave me the justice that satisfied me the most, and he gave this boy mercy so that he could come back to the fold, come back to him. So for me, it was really, really amazing. I mean, the boy even agreed, like agreed to come with us to Tazy. I was not comfortable, inviting him after meeting him. Like, I had his number, but I just felt that, I'm okay with this story ending with where it ended. And, I'm very happy with the way God resolved the story. And for me, it's one of the most beautiful stories in my life. However, I just don't want to go through that again, but it was an experience. That's what I can say. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the story. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that you can get alerted every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one. God bless and bye.